Look at your life for a moment. Look at where you are, the struggles, the burdens, the silent battles no one else sees. Now ask yourself, how much of this have you spoken into existence? I want you to think about the words you've been telling yourself, not the words you say when others are around, the ones you whisper in the dark, the ones that echo when no one is listening. I'm not good enough. I'll always be stuck. Nothing ever changes for me. And so, nothing does. Some of you have been living under the weight of your own words. You have declared failure over your life before even taking a step. You have chained yourself to an identity that was never meant to be yours. But I am here to tell you something tonight. And if you don't hear anything else I say, hear this. Your words have power. The words you speak over yourself are either building you up or tearing you down. And the enemy doesn't even have to destroy you because you've been doing it for him. But tonight that ends. Tonight you take back your voice. Tonight you learn how to speak blessings instead of bondage. There is a weight to your words that many of you do not understand. You speak casually, thoughtlessly, as if your words are carried away by the wind and vanish, but they don't. They settle, they plant, they take root, and in time they bear fruit, either life or death. Think about it. How many times have you told yourself, I can't do this, and then you didn't? How many times have you said, I'll never change, and then you stayed the same? How many times have you declared, nothing ever works out for me, and sure enough, nothing did? Do you see what's happening? Do you see the pattern? It's not just chance, it's not just circumstance, it's not even just your mistakes. It's the words you've been speaking over your life. Some of you have been cursing yourselves for years without even realizing it. You have spoken words of defeat so often that they have become the law of your existence. And I'm telling you right now, that must stop, because the very words you speak are shaping your life, your future, and your soul. Listen, I'm not here to give you some weak motivational speech about the power of positive thinking. That's not what this is. I'm here to tell you the truth. And the truth is, your words carry weight in the unseen realm. They carry authority. They establish things. When you speak, you are not just making noise, you are declaring something into being. Let me ask you, what have you been declaring? What have you been allowing to come out of your mouth? Are your words building or destroying? Are they bringing light or darkness? Some of you have been trapped in a cycle of negativity because your words have been feeding it. You don't even realize that every time you say, I'll never be free, you are reinforcing the chains that bind you. Every time you say, I'm just not good enough, you are digging the pit deeper. And the worst part, you believe it. You've spoken these words for so long that they have become the only reality you know. You don't question them. You don't resist them. You just accept them as truth. But they are not truth. They are lies you have told yourself, and they are killing you. So what do? You break the cycle. You change the script. You stop speaking death and start speaking life. And let me make something clear. This isn't about lying to yourself. This isn't about pretending things are fine when they aren't. It's about aligning your words with what is true, even when your feelings and circumstances say otherwise. It's about declaring what should be instead of what has been. You say, I am strong even when you feel weak. You say, I am free even when you feel bound. You say, I have a purpose even when you feel lost. Why? Because your words will begin to shape your reality. Not in some magical wishful thinking way, but in a way that sets the direction for your life. Think of it like this. If you constantly tell yourself that you are broken, hopeless, and defeated, what kind of life do you think you will live? You will live like a broken, hopeless, defeated person, because that is the identity you have spoken over yourself. But if you begin to speak truth, if you begin to declare that you are not defined by your failures, not controlled by your past, not bound by your circumstances, you will start to rise. You will start to walk in the identity that was meant for you. And yes, at first it will feel unnatural. It will feel like a battle, because for years you have been speaking one way, and now you are trying to change it. But this is war, and war is not easy. You are fighting against every lie you have believed. You are pushing back against years of negativity. You are rewiring your mind to align with truth. But listen to me. This battle is worth it, because the moment you take control of your words, you take control of your life. The moment you stop cursing yourself and start speaking blessings, you begin to break free. So I ask you again, what will you speak over yourself? What will you declare over your future? Because your words are not empty, they are seeds. And whatever you plant, you will reap. Speak life, speak truth, speak blessings. Because when you do, you will see things begin to change. Some of you live as though you have no authority, as if life just happens to you, as if you are a victim of every storm, every struggle, every dark moment. You wake up defeated before the day even begins. You walk through life as though you have no power, no influence over your circumstances. And so you speak weakness, you speak failure, you speak surrender. But hear me. You have been given authority. You have been given the power to speak, to declare, to stand firm in truth. Yet instead of standing, many of you have been bowing. Instead of declaring life, you have been accepting death. Instead of fighting, you have been retreating, and that must end. Do you not know that your words carry weight? Do you not understand that when you open your mouth, you are either aligning with truth or you are aligning with lies? Some of you are walking around defeated, but not because you have been defeated, because you have agreed with defeat. You have spoken it over yourself. You have allowed the enemy's voice to become your own. You say, I will never change, and so you stay the same. You say, I am too weak, and so you never rise. You say, I have no future, and so your path remains dark. And the worst part, you don't even resist it. But I am telling you tonight, resist it. Stand up and take back your voice. Stop agreeing with destruction. Stop bowing to the lies. Start declaring truth. Because when you speak truth, you walk in the authority that has been given to you. Do you think you were created to live in defeat? Do you think you were placed here to be crushed by fear, by failure, by shame? No. You were meant to rise. You were meant to stand. But if you keep using your own words to tear yourself down, you will never step into what was meant for you. You say, but I don't feel strong. I don't care what you feel. Feelings shift like the wind. Truth remains. Speak truth. Speak it even when it feels unnatural. Speak it even when your emotions scream otherwise, because your words set the direction of your life. If you continue to speak like a slave, you will live like a slave. But if you begin to speak like someone who is free, you will start walking in freedom. You don't see it yet, speak it anyway. You don't feel it yet, declare it anyway, because authority is not about feelings. It's about standing firm even when everything around you says otherwise. Some of you have been speaking your fears instead of your faith. You have been speaking your doubts instead of your destiny, and your life reflects it. You wonder why you feel stuck, but listen to the words you have been speaking. Listen to the things you have declared over yourself. Have you been speaking life? Have you been declaring truth, or have you been reinforcing the chains that bind you? Your words must align with truth. They must align with life, because when you speak, you are not just expressing thoughts, you are setting things in motion. And some of you need to start setting the right things in motion. I am telling you, take back your voice. Start speaking what is true, what is good, what is powerful. You are not your past. You are not your failures. You are not defined by what has been spoken over you by others. You have the authority to declare something different, something greater, something that aligns with who you were meant to be. And yes, it will feel like a fight, because every lie you have believed, every doubt you have spoken, every chain that has held you, it will all push back against you. But this is war, and war is not won in silence. War is won when you speak and stand firm. So speak life, speak truth, speak as one who has been given authority. And when you do, you will begin to walk in the freedom that has been waiting for you all along. Some of you have been living under a weight you were never meant to carry. You wake up every day feeling burdened, trapped in the same cycle of doubt, fear, and regret. You tell yourself, this is just who I am. This is just how life is for me. Things will never change, and so they don't. Because the words you speak over yourself have become the walls of your prison. You don't even realize it, do you? You don't see that the chains holding you down aren't made of iron. They are made of words. Words you've spoken over yourself, words others have spoken over you that you believed, words that have settled into your heart and shaped your identity. And the tragedy is, many of you have accepted it. You've stopped fighting. You've stopped believing anything else is possible. You've just surrendered to the idea that you are broken, that you are unworthy, that you are a failure. And because you believe it, you speak it. And because you speak it, you live it. But tonight I am here to tell you, it is a lie. Every time you say, I'm worthless, you are speaking a lie. Every time you say, I'll never be free, you are speaking a lie. Every time you say, there is no hope for me, you are speaking a lie. And you don't even realize what you're doing. You don't realize that with every word of defeat, you are strengthening the chains that bind you. The enemy doesn't have to destroy you. He just has to convince you to destroy yourself with your own words. But I refuse to let you stay there. You were never meant to live in bondage. You were never meant to be defined by your past, by your failures, by the lies that have poisoned your mind. You were created for something greater, and it is time to break the chains. But listen to me, breaking chains is not passive. You don't just sit back and wait for freedom to come. You fight for it, you declare it, you speak it, because if your words have the power to bind you, then your words have the power to set you free. And some of you need to start speaking freedom. Right now, today, no more speaking like a prisoner, no more agreeing with the lies, no more giving power to words that were never meant to define you. I don't care what you feel, I don't care what your circumstances look like, I care about what is true, and the truth is you are not your past, you are not your failures, you are not the sum of your worst mistakes, you are not beyond hope, you are not beyond change, you are not beyond redemption, but if you keep speaking like someone who is defeated, you will live like someone who is defeated, and I am telling you, stop it. Start speaking as someone who is free, even if you don't feel free yet, even if the chains are still rattling around you, speak what is true, declare what is real, not what you have believed for so long. You say, but I've always struggled. So what? That doesn't mean you always will. You say, but I've failed so many times. Then get back up and stop speaking failure over yourself. You say, but I don't see how things will change. Then start speaking truth before you see the change. This is war, and war is not won with silence. War is won with declaration. War is won when you open your mouth and start speaking against the very thing that has been holding you down. So no more agreement with lies, no more bowing to defeat, no more speaking words that keep you bound, because the moment you start speaking, freedom is the moment you start stepping into it. There comes a point when you have to make a choice, a real choice, not a fleeting thought, not an empty promise to yourself, but a decision that shifts everything. A choice to stop speaking the things that keep you in darkness and start speaking the things that bring light. A choice to reject the words of defeat that have been coming from your own mouth and replace them with truth. Because make no mistake, your words will either build your life or destroy it. They will either align you with truth or chain you to lies. And you don't get to stand in the middle. You don't get to remain neutral. You are either speaking life or you are speaking death. Some of you have spent years tearing yourselves down without even realizing it. You've looked in the mirror and called yourself weak. You've stumbled and called yourself a failure. You've gone through hard seasons and decided that things will never change. And because you believed those words, you kept speaking them. And because you kept speaking them, you kept living in them. But it is time to change your language. It is time to change the way you speak, not because of wishful thinking, not because of blind positivity, but because truth demands it. And truth says you are more than your past. Truth says you are not bound to your failures. Truth says you were created for something greater than the life you have settled for. But if you keep speaking like someone who is lost, you will stay lost. If you keep declaring fear, you will live in fear. If you keep agreeing with every lie that tells you you are worthless, you will live as if you are. So stop it. Stop it now. You say, but I don't feel strong. I don't care what you feel. Truth does not change based on your emotions. Speak it anyway. You say, but I don't see any change. Then speak it before you see it. Because your words will set the direction for your life. Do you want to change? Then start speaking like someone who is changing. Do you want to break free? Then start speaking like someone who is free. Do you want to step into the life you were meant for? Then start speaking like someone who knows they were made for more. Your words must align with truth, not with fear, not with lies, not with the old identity that tried to keep you in chains. And yes, at first it will feel like a battle, because it is. It is a war against every false word you have believed. It is a war against every lie that has shaped the way you see yourself. But war is not won with silence. War is won with declaration. So I ask you, what will you speak? What will you declare over your life? Because make no mistake, your words are building your future. And if you do not change them, you will stay exactly where you are. But if you do change them, if you take hold of truth and speak it with authority, you will begin to see things shift. You will begin to see chains break. You will begin to step into what was always meant for you. So speak life, speak truth, speak freedom, because the moment you do, everything begins to change.